The most disappointing part of our history is that we are learning history from the invader's point of view. This is very unfortunate. Our kings and queens are just a minor part of UL's history. I was taught about Sij as a part of, and there was just one line about the guy, the queen, who protected the kingdom handedly against our wings for almost a decade. And she's worth enough for just one. This is really saddening. Few days back I was reading Baba, and now I found a queen named Rani Dik. And you know what? Her bravery and sacrifice was worth enough for just food lines. So here I am unfolding. The Untold story was the daughter of the king of Alkan, and she was married to Raja Delk, the king of Gok, which now comes under the Ma. Unfortunately, Raja Del died when their son Bing and was just 5 years old. Now, Gra, being a widow and the mother of a toddler, takes control over the kingdom and managed it exceptionally well. She developed the country into several small kingdoms, and there were totally 70,000. And 1/3 of it were directly managed by her, and the rest of the part was subordinate-like. She appointed leaders who work under her control. The contemporary history of Abu Scout says that Han's courage, guidance, and kindness was such. She brought the whole kingdom under her control, and she was a great hunter. The double vessel says if a lion was sighted anywhere in her turn, she would not drink water until she shot. She was beautiful, courageous, and the queen of a rich kingdom. So obviously the eyes of the enemies were watching her very closely. And as of Khan, the commander of Abu's army, was the one who was waiting for an opportunity. And El goes to an extent saying that the commander began with a flirting behavior and wanted to touch the beauty of Guana. It clearly indicates that the SF moved into Gra rather than the kingdom, like he expected. In 1564, Abba sent the order to Asaf Khan to march upon the queen. Reputation lies on this wall because the enemy was not just eyeing on the kingdom, but also on her. She marched with 5,000 men and told them they can leave if they want, but she would not. She said she would either contain or fall the army. She let included her own son Bing. At the opposite was the MU's army, which had 10,000 cavalry. That was literally double the size of the queen's. Still, the queen managed to lead the army very well and killed the 300 opponents Abul. The historian says Thay was victorious. That same evening, she held a council and proposed a surplus attack on the opponents, but no one agreed to it. She again proposed the idea, this time to a much smaller group of her most loyal men, but still no one agreed. The next morning, as the queen predicted, as of Khan indeed in a better position still, the queen men fought their best. The battle continued for 3 days, and it was a bloody, exhausting struggle. We, the one son of the queen, go to the enemy's army 3 times, but unfortunately he got wounded. Ordered immediately her son to be taken away from the battlefield. That moment, Rani acted more like a mother than like a queen, even though Gra was the one who was leading the army. But when Winan left, most of the army followed him. She had only 300 men left in the battlefield, but she was not ready to give up. She continued to fight fearlessly until she was struck by 2 arrows, one in the temple and one in the neck, and she fainted. Because of that, the queen's commander, named Arthur Buta, safely after the battlefield. When she opened the heist, he told her to run away, but she asked him to kill her, but other refused. Obviously, he did not have the courage to take the life of a queen. Then pulled out her dagger and killed. She decided to die respectfully, rather than falling in the hands of a man who was waiting with nothing but lust. And Ashan captured 1,000 elephants on much of the booty, and this was nothing compared to the Russia that was to come. Flat to the foot of Gaga, which was the warehouse of the Russia, and after 2 months, Ashan reached there, and the young king was. The soldiers found a lot of health in that foot, including 100 literal parts of gold. After spending 4 days in that foot, they opened the room and found a room full of burned bodies of women. Yes, The women in that foot performed the games. They decided to burn themselves rather than being sick slaves. Unfortunately, two women survived. One was an unnamed princess, the other was Grati's sister Kati. Both were hiding behind a large piece of wood that it saved them rather than burned them. And obviously those two women were sent to Abu's court as slaves. And this is the story of Grati, which the historians thought not worth more than few lines.